Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to use SoftFlex Company's Design Challenge Kit, All That Glitters, to make a really pretty bracelet. Now this is going to be similar to one we made the other day using our bargain bead box, but this one's using the SoftFlex's All That Glitters kit. So let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do. So I've got the white quartz medium beading wire out of our kit. We're going to get, well, we're going to double this up. So we need, about 18 inches. Maybe even a little more, but I don't think so. 18 should be good. So we're going to get 12 and then another bit. And we'll cut this off. And put this wire aside. Now what we're going to do, I need to get some crimps out, is we're going to come on, baby. We need to get a few crimps out here. That's probably more than I need, but better more than not enough. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this, isn't this button cool? It's got a sun, a moon, some stars. We're going to go through this shank. Then we're going to even our wires up, put a crimp tube on both wires, and slide this down to about where you want it to be on your button. So I want it to be about right there. It's going to let it move, but it's not going to have a big bunch of movement there. So we'll get our crimping pliers and we'll crimp this right here. So that should be in there. Now we've got this little space right here. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take some of these little white cone pieces, and we're going to put them on either side. Now because these are triangular shaped, these are going to go down here and they'll be able to sit side by side like so. But at the same time, they're going to push our beads out, our lines out away from each other a little bit. And then we're going to put on, I'm going to put this one aside. I'll put a bead stopper on it because I don't want to lose that bead. We're going to put a little crimp tube here. And then we're going to put on one of the gold crystals from out of our kit. Now, what I want to do is I was going to put these in, but there's only 4 of them. Well, I'll still put them in. We're just going to change it up a little bit on this other side here. So we're going to put this gold one in, and then actually I should have got some, and here's some right here we can use. Silver spacers as well as the little gold ones. We have some little silver ones there. I'm going to put a silver spacer on here. Then we'll put one of our clear crystals here. It's got an AB finish on it. It's very pretty. See how it sparkles? Well, it glitters because this is all that glitters. Now we'll put another gold one on the other side of that. Now we're going to put on then one of the silver ones. Gold spacer again. I'm going to need to get some more gold spacers out, I think. And then we're going to go to this rice bead. Our little disco ball. This one has one sticking up a little bit. We need to get that pushed down in place better. Here we go. One of these little gold. Now hopefully that's going to be long enough by the time we get our other half on. We'll see. I'll show you what I mean when we get to there. Now we're going to go through here. Then our disco ball, or that's not the disco ball, that's the pave. Then we have one of these little ones which looks like it's 2 bead caps wrapped around a crystal spacer. Need to get those gold spacers out I was saying I was going to need. Come on, baby, go on there. Now this is where we're going to end this side. It's going to go around, and it looks like it's going to be about, might even be bigger than we need, but we'll see. So we'll put this bead stopper that's over here on this side, and we'll repeat this pattern here, except when we get here, we're going to go through. So I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. So we're going to go. And one thing I am going to do is I'm going to reverse this silver and gold right here so that it has a little bit of definition right there. I love these faceted crystal rice beads. They're so pretty. This one looks bigger than this one. Well, hopefully they're about the same, because otherwise that's going to make a slight difference here in our sizing. Well, we'll see what it looks like when we get to that point. Now this is where we're going to start bringing them together. These two are going to lay side by side, and it'll push these out just a little bit from each other, sort of like so. This side's not pushing, but it's going to by the time I'm done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to push these over here just a little bit. I left a little space, and we're going to go through this row a second time. Come on, baby, go through. There it is over here. So now we'll pull this out over here on this side, pull things tight. So now this is our central part, and then we have our two strands on either side like this. Now we're going to go back to one of these little guys. A gold spacer. Now this one's a little smaller than that one, it looks like, but that might be all right because this one was bigger. So now we have a gold tube, then our little disco ball, the rice bead, so pretty. So it's looking like so far like this. Now this will be an elegant, really pretty elegant bracelet for, no, I want gold, I believe. Yep, because we're doing the opposite of this side, so we want the gold one again here. Just like this right here. Silver. Oops, dropped our silver. Our crystal. Then gold, the silver bead, and gold again, and then our triangular style one. So there they are. That is our bead strands. So then what will happen is we're going to take these two and we're going to pull them tight to each other, and we're going to crimp them. And actually I think we are too long. Before we crimp them, I'm going to show you what I mean when I said I think we are too long. And pull this baby up, we'll pull them tight. And now, as we go around here, we have, come here you, our button is going to come to right here. Well, actually, we may be just about perfect because we're going to put our ring on here. Now, I was going to put one of these little guys in here as well, but I think that we'll be too long with that little guy in there, so I don't think we're going to be able to do that after all. So the next thing is simply to tighten this one down. Right here, pull our wires up, get our crimping pliers on that little guy, and then we'll pull our lines again, make sure everything is tight. Now one of these is not, because I can see it's got a loose spot right there, so then we crimp, and then we turn, crimp, and we're going to keep crimping till we get that nice little bead that we like to have. So there we go. So there is the base of our strands. So we can put it around like so. And like I said, we're right here. So now we'll put our ring on. Now, if we had wanted to, I could have made this into a seed bead loop rather than a regular beaded loop. This one over here on this side has got a little bit of a sharpness to it. So we're going to see if I can get that squished down. There, that's better. So what we're going to do is we take our crimp, go through here, and we're going to put our ring through. And then we're going to try and go through both of these strands again. We may not be able to. If we can't, that's fine. We can, so that's good. Now, I didn't do so, but I could have, so that we could trim these by a bead, is I could have trimmed these, crimped this with a bead in between. But I really don't think we have the room to do that, because we are already right at our button, see? And we're going to have to still put our leather on to make our strap. So we don't have room to put any extra in there. You know, since this is all that glitters, I'm going to change this ring. I have, once I get it out, we have another style of ring that I think would be very pretty. So I did find the other ring. This one is a braided ring. And I went back through, and then after I crimped it, I trimmed my wires right here where the two crimps meet. So now we have our bracelet. For some reason, this one side wants to go out further than the other side. It should be about the same, but anyway, there is how our bracelet's going to go. Now I just need to get a little piece of leather or some kind of strap here so that we can hook that to that side and put our button through it. See how it's going to work right there? And then once we have our button strap made, we can put all this stuff back, except I'm going to make a couple of little crystal dangles here, I think. So I had thought about using I still could put one of these little stars with one of these crystal dangles if we chose. It would go up here and the dangle would go below, like so. And then if I did that, the other one would have no extra. It would just go straight to it. So it would be like so. So we may just do that. We'll see here. This is the extra stuff that we need to put away later. But I do need to find a piece of, we don't need any more crimps. We're done with those. A piece of leather. Now I do have various colored leathers. And I'm not sure if I have a natural color. A natural might be best or gray, because of the coloration of our pieces here. But one thing I want to see is if I can get a jump ring through this crystal. I may not be able to because they're it's a small crystal, and you know, the holes tend to, when they're made like this, with their hole up at the top like that, they don't always want to take a jump ring. So we're going to get jump rings out, and we're going to test that out. I think we're going to need a big one. So let's see if that will work. We'll open one of these up. Looks like it might be too wide, so actually it fits fine, so that's great. So then I'm going to put it on our little star. Well, as long as our little star fits fine. Not sure the little star is going to fit fine. There it goes. Now we'll close this. And then this little guy can be hung with another little jump ring onto our ring. Then we will just simply take this other jump ring here, we'll grab our little crystal. Come on, the other one went. Why are you not going? Okay. It almost sounded like something crackled, but I don't see any bits and pieces of crystal below, so onto the ring, close it up. Then we'll get another jump ring, and I think I'm just going to get a smaller, medium-sized jump ring, and we will put go back up there. Then we will put the this other one here. So I'm going to get a medium one, which is right here beside me. Yep, that's a medium. Open it up. Just one. Oops. In case you're wondering what I just did, I had the break underneath the pliers, so when it tried to go through it, it was like, whoa, wait a second, what are you doing to me here? So there we go. Our two dangles are now on our ring. And now all we have to do is find that little piece of leather so I can make my opening for my my button. Okay, so I found some various bits of leather, and I have more or less decided. I had found red, I found blue, and I found natural. So we're going to go with the natural because it matches in with the gold best. And I'm going to cut an 8-inch piece, maybe a teeny bit longer. but I like at least 8 inches. I think we'll go up to 9 just to be on the safe side. Cut this at an angle, and this is our piece we're going to use. I'll put the rest of it back in the bag. Now I really like to use the suede leather as opposed to the round leather on these kinds of bracelets. I think it's easier to control as far as the knotting and things like that are concerned. So we're going to double up our suede leather. Then we're going to put it through our loop. And then we're going to bring it back through both strands, not just one, Rose. And we're going to make a lark's head knot. So there we go. There's our lark's head knot. Come on, little ones. So then what we need to do next is make another knot that this button will fit through. Now we don't want it a lot bigger than the button. We just want it about the size of the button. We want it to go through relatively easily, but not so easily that it's going to slide out. So we want the knot about right here. So we're going to bring our, now this time we're making an overhead hand knot. Hey baby, both of you through. There we go. Now we're going to ease it up into place. That looks pretty good right there. Now we want to see if it will go in here easily. Now see, will go through, but it's not atrociously easy, so that's good. That's about how we want it. Now this will stretch out a little bit in time because it is a natural material. So I'm going to push it tighter. Make sure it's going to still go through. Still goes through relatively easily, so we'll push it just down a little bit tighter yet. And if it still goes in without any difficulty, then we'll just pull it to tighten it up. Now see, it's a little bit more difficult now, but it still goes through fine. So now we're going to just pull it tight. Now I have had people ask me, well, should we put a drop of glue on our leather? You can do that, but you got to remember that if you do, you need to get into one of your grooves here because the glue is going to mar your leather. It's going to show where you put it at. So, and it can stain it pretty nicely. So there is where we're going to go through here, and there we are. There's our button bracelet all finished. That looks like that's wanting to twist some, so I'll have to see why it's twisting. It's fine. So there we go. She's all finished. No, we want the crystals to come this way, so our button has to lay down this way. There we go. So let's see how long it ended up being. I think it's probably going to be between 7.5 and 8. 7.5. So there we go. That's a really nice length. I like it a lot. So there we go. We're all finished. There's our little drops. Here, our button, and our really pretty crystal bracelet. Now this one I think is perfect for New Year's, for a New Year's Eve party, so that you could have something gold and silver and fancy. Now these are sort of long. If you don't want them that long, you can always trim them off, our little tails here. And if you have a big enough bead that you can sit one on here, like a big hole bead, then you could do that as well. I've also seen people put another large hole bead in here so that once you get the button in, you can, into the loop, you can just push the large hole bead up and tighten your bracelet so that it's not loose at all. So there we go, all finished. So then that just goes out like so. And there's our bracelet. Isn't that pretty? Oop. So this one side is still going out further than the other. So, all done. I think it turned out lovely. Like I said, this to me is would be a perfect bracelet for New Year's Eve, which today is. And well, by the time it goes up onto my YouTube channel, it's actually going to be New Year's Day, but I think it's a perfect bracelet for this season. So there we go. There we go. That's our bracelet using our All That Glitters beads. And then I, of course, added this beautiful constellation button with the sun in the middle and the moon and stars. Then because we have the stars in that, I put this little star spacer down here as a dangle. Very, very pretty bracelet, very sparkly. Makes a lovely New Year's bracelet, I think, anyway. So that's what it looks like. So I think it's pretty as all heck. I hope you agree. So we've been using, like I said, the SoftFlex's Design Challenge Kit, All That Glitters, to make this really pretty and spectacular bracelet. So this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.